Hello, hello, hello. It's your Ounce of Prevention live here today, 12:30 on a Thursday. And we are Maintenance University. I am Dr. Stephanie Fine, and we talk about maintenance, how to keep the weight off that you've already lost. That is the main deal, right? Keeping the weight off. You've lost weight before. It's the keeping it off that is the secret, because it's decades, right? And that's what we talk about here, because I want you to be successful, and that is maintenance. So, yay! Today we're talking about lunch. This is a slightly advanced technique because breakfasts are often one of those meals that people have like down. You know, they have their breakfast that they like. So it could be coffee and some cottage cheese, or a little bit of like a shake or a protein shake or something like that they usually have and lasts them what they need. And it's really a good idea to have a breakfast that you generally have. I love that because you already know how to satisfy yourself to get to the midday meal. You know what you like. It's easy to do. That's that kind of thing. So now the reason this is advanced when we talk about lunch is because we want to do the same thing for lunch. And the reason why lunch can be so tricky, and if you dial in your lunch, honestly, you're halfway there in terms of being able to maintain your weight loss. The reason for that is we often use lunch to sabotage ourselves. That's what ends up happening. If you don't have what you need for lunch and you end up sort of wondering what you're going to have, two things can happen. You can either skip it altogether, or you can end up being so hungry that you pick something that you normally wouldn't have. It's either higher in calories, or it's not a good makeup. There's too much fat or too many carbs or something like that. You end up sabotaging yourself. And the fix for that is knowing what you're going to have for lunch. Just knowing what it is. And of course, you play with it. You figure it out. Some people, and I find them to be the luckier people. I actually happen to be one of them. I'm so lucky. I can have the same lunch for a really long time. I have my salad. I put my chicken in it. I have my grapes. I am good. It is like, I am so happy to have that. I can't even tell you. I do not have to think. It's time for lunch. I go, I make my salad, done. I have all the things I need. I don't have to search for them, and I don't have to wonder. I put it on the list. That's what it is. And that way, it's not a guessing game, because when you're hungry is the worst time to make decisions about food. So really good self-care, and the way to maintain your weight loss is to have a lunch that you like, that you have the ingredients for, that you can prepare easily, and that fuels you for the rest of the day. The truth is, lunch is just fueling you to do what you're meant to be doing, right? It's not a reward for the middle of the day or an escape from your life. It is the fuel for your life to do what you love, what needs to get done, to do your life the way you've planned it. Now, if you hate your life, there's bigger fish to fry, right? Honestly, but a lot of times we can tell that by how we think of lunch. If we think of lunch as the great escape, then of course we're going to look for all of our pleasure in the middle of the day with our food. That's a symptom, and we have to look into that, because that means we have to do something about the rest of our day, how we can get pleasure not only from our food. So if that's the case, there are some questions to be asked, but if it's not, then the simple fix is having a lunch you love at the ready. So when you go to the market, you know what you're getting. You're going to have 7 of these things, and 7 of these things, and 7 of these things, so that you can have them every day. I highly recommend that. Fueling your life, making it a no-brainer, so you already know what you're going to have. There's no thinking involved. When you're hungry, you just eat, and you're satisfied until you need to eat again. So that may mean that you have a lunch that gets you to snack time, or you may need a lunch that gets you to dinner. So those are things you play with. You figure out what works. And when you find what works, you stick with it. So that is my lunchtime maintenance tip. Have a lunch that fuels you, that you enjoy eating, that you can prepare, and that's ready for you when you need it. That will make a huge difference. Then all you're doing is dealing with dinner, and it's so much easier to do that when you've had a lunch that fuels you. And you can do it. And you can keep your weight just where you want it, that's what we do here. Keep your weight where you want it. Have a really good week, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.